What's up, Wolfpack Shadow the Werewolf here, and it's time to talk. Now look, I posted a lot of videos yesterday, and yes, it is yesterday. It is 12 a.m. Well, actually, it's 4. Is it? Yep, so 6 a.m. Yep, I have my lights and my doors over here, so if you can guess by that reference, I'm doing another theory on Five Nights at Freddy's 3. Okay, so thanks to some very, very helpful people and tutorials earlier on this night, I have beaten and also saw all endings, but in the end, the one that makes sense is a bad ending with Purple Guy becoming Springtrap. So, this is what I figured out. Despite this being very epic, and the marionette making epic, well, how would you like to be one of us? Chase by tricking Purple Guy to run into Springtrap. I realized at the ending that there will be a sequel. Yes, I know, with the third sequel, you think they'd stop by now? Hell no! Five Nights at Freddy is just about as big as fucking most movie sequels. It's gonna be like one of those things that doesn't really stop. It's gonna keep going, sequel, like Slender. But the thing is, I am very excited for the sequel because it seems like this one might be a little bit different if they don't pull the whole prequel sequel thing. Because think about it. Okay? So all the mini games where Purple Guy dies happens before or night 5, okay? That was just minigame to show you what Springtrap was. He was Purple Guy in a way. Purple Guy mixed with an animatronic, which honestly surprised me a bit. But okay, read the last line in the newspaper. It said blah 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 burned down. All they scavenged and sold parts at an auction. So that hints for me that there will be a Five Nights at Freddy's 4. Because think about it, okay? They sold all the parts at an auction. Okay, they sold animatronic parts from a famous pizzeria. So I feel like they're going to try to rebuild on that. And despite how crappy the sequel might be, because I don't think it will be, I don't think you can make Five Nights at Freddy's crappy, because as long as you keep the same storylines, like, you know, with Springtrap, and whether you go back to the past or future, it's the fact that we're sold in an auction. So either way, there is going to be a Five Nights at Freddy's 4. And if Scott doesn't make one, I kind of want to call bullshit, because, alright, because if he wasn't going to make a Five Nights at Freddy's 4, it would seem unnecessary to put the last part where it says they were sold at an auction. You could just be like, oh, burnt down, that's the end of Five Nights at Freddy's. Okay, because no one would buy them and just be like, oh, well, you know, I got all this animatronic stuff from the pizzeria. I guess I'm just going to, you know, keep it put up. I mean, I'm definitely not going to use a famous money-making opportunity. So, yeah, in my belief, there's going to be a Five Nights at Freddy's 4. This is a theory. Okay, I'm not 100%, who knows, Scott may, no offense to Scott Cawthon, but he may kind of be a dick and not make one, but I really, really, specifically, I hope there's actually, like, let me see, I hope there's at least five games, Five Nights at Freddy's, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, for 5 nights. And hell, maybe even expand with the other nights, like night 6 and 7, and then the secret night 8, such as like just an Easter egg game, you know, like, and you know, to Scott, if he catches this video, I really, really, really want I really want a Five Nights at Freddy's game, which I'm hoping will be like the night 6 or 7, or maybe even 8 Easter egg game. Which I think it'd be cool, instead of playing as like Fritz or Jeremy or Mike, I'd like to play as Vincent. and actually walk around, because if you play as Vincent, you have to run from the animatronics, which I think would be more fun. We ain't gonna be able to do that if it ain't a sequel, though. I mean, if it ain't a prequel. So, if we do a prequel, I'd like to be able to walk around. I'd like to be able to walk around a sequel, too, such as you break, because there's a Fan Man game like that, but, I mean, no one can do it like Scott. I'm sorry, but no one can make a Five Nights at Freddy's game better than Scott. Because I thought Five Nights at Freddy's 3 was going to be him kind of saying the fuck you and goodbyes, but it seems like every Five Nights at Freddy's there's always going to be a sequel, which I am happy about. So yeah, that's it. So there's most, I'm not going to say definitely, but there's most likely going to be a sequel from that tiny bit of information about the parts being sold in auction. And I think it will be welcome to the new attraction, Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria 2.0 or something like that. But anyways, if you would please bite the living shit out of that like button. While you're there, slash up that subscribe button. So from me, to you, to the full moon. Oh.